Thank you to all who have been supporting the channel by checking out our merch at rejectnationshop.com and becoming Royal Rejects. Citizens of the Reject Nation, we're going to be at WonderCon March 31st. Michael's going to be joining us on the panel.
Me?
The ones who join are going to say hi to us in person.
So good.
I can't wait for it, guys. 2 o'clock p.m. is Michael's first time joining us on our panel.
It's my first time. It's really exciting.
As a Walking Dead, Star Wars sage around here. Excited to have you. All right. Well, last episode had a great cliffhanger.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Would you jump out of a helicopter with me?
Leave a like on this video. And subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified when our reaction is up for the next episode. This might be the last one that it gets up at the time and manner that we've been getting it up at. Haha, that's what I told my wife recently too. Oh! Now, Prepper, thank you for helping us edit down these highlights. Full length throughout your watch along. That's where you sync up with your own copy of The Walking Dead. That's available for our super sexies over at our Patron page. John and I cover several things exclusively over there with highlights and watch alongs included. Mikhail, you ready?
Beer check.
Beer check. The ones you groom.
I think that you look ready for the apocalypse. Let's do this. Huh. Some good Fallout vibes. That's an old Roomba. Oh my God.
Oh, I guess the fall wasn't as far as we thought. Although this ironic music playing over it.
It's my favorite juxtaposition.
Welcome home.
Home? Time to make up for some lost time? Oh, what a great transition from there to them close. Oh, excellent stuff.
Oh, God, I love this show. Boy, I have questions.
We needed a timeout.
I can't believe you did that.
It's time to have a real-ass conversation. Work in sync and all?
I mean, it's a smart home. They got an espresso machine.
Everything is working. This is like type of futuristic spot. Oh, my biggest nightmare.
An empty fridge.
Yeah.
There's no G Fuel in there, Greg.
And clothes to change into as well. Yeah, you remember that, don't you, Ricky?
Oh, the scars.
Yeah, he is just watching. Okay.
Is that the tracker?
You got a choice, man.
You lose yours, huh?
Oh, you press it, and that's the thing that they can...
The 200 and 300 miles.
You want to call them here?
Written by Danai Gurira. What? Whoa.
This is going to be one of the best episodes.
This was one of my faves growing up. This little girl listening to her own rhythm.
Murphy's Law of Excel JavaScript. Okay, interesting.
Somebody's been programming the past 10 years.
I loved her so much. I thought I was meant to be a writer for a while there.
It's funny, she wrote the episode.
You've become a bit of a creative writer these days. That note
Oh, boy.
in the getaway boat, poetry. Why don't you give another masterpiece for your children? Because I'm not going to be the one to tell them that I found their father.
Them children?
And he sent me away and chose not to come home to them.
Them.
You said children.
His name is Rick. We call him RJ.
Junior.
I was pregnant when the bridge happened. He's almost 8.
Oh, my God.
Damn. What a long time.
You need to give me the PRB.
I just told you you have a son. What did you say? Everything we have is broken? After saying that we were
You
gonna
have
run away?
no
I don't know
idea
what game
who
you're
we're
playing,
dealing with.
Rick.
Guys.
You didn't give it to me.
Raising our kids, believing you were alive, and you were.
You think I didn't want to be with you? I tried everything.
This feels like such a real argument.
I'm trying to get you out of here alive, and you pull us out of a goddamn helicopter.
That's because I don't like who you are with them. What they make you. It isn't you.
You think I want this?
This is such good scene work. We never really saw them as a couple in the show, like getting into such a dispute before.
I think placing them in this particular setting is so interesting, too.
They won the day Jadis brought me here.
She brought you.
Oh, maybe Michonne's going to be the one to do it.
She will destroy our home if I try to leave.
Still call it your home.
She's threatened by us because together, you and me, she thinks we could do anything.
Exactly.
We can stop her. You saw what happened to your friends. It will happen to everyone we know, to our children.
We kill her then.
She left it all behind, who we are, where we're from, so people will find us if we did that.
Dude, you gotta think of some solutions.
Please, just give me the PRB.
Glad he finally had a chance to explain some things.
To leave that note and think I would just leave?
Would you have gone if I told you?
Okay, we go back. We find her evidence. We destroy it. We kill her. And then
plan.
we go home.
Where's your butt?
He's thinking it.
It's about faith and belief right now.
We need to go back.
And after that,
Man,
do you still love me?
Always. I've never stopped loving you.
you gotta fight for that, man. They're both acting out of love and fear in their own ways.
I think that's the most magic part of it, too.
Distant shot. Encapsulating the distance between them.
The trust, the fear.
That's our helicopter.
No way.
You saved our lives.
It's gone.
Fate. There is so much about like destiny here.
Oh, it's actually
Yeah.
We can go
perfect.
home.
Try smiling a bit, Rick.
Jadis will think we died in there. They all will.
Unless
Rick,
No,
what did you say?
I'm not going home.
Man, it's like Stockholm syndrome.
Well, I think he still feels he's in the best position to protect them from afar. I also think that he maybe sees the power of being in that position.
I think this show is making it very clear it's more about fear than it is about faith in what they do.
You know your son,
Call him the brave man.
the one you haven't asked anything about.
Intentionally.
He calls you the brave man. He started calling himself Little Brave Man. Nat, my friend who your people killed.
They're not my damn
He
people.
said that to me once when I said I had to keep looking for you. He knew how it ended, but he still had my back.
Good man.
I was so sure he was wrong, but he wasn't, because here I am. I found you, but I didn't. This is not what I had in my head.
I think the audience didn't either, and that's the brilliance. We're in your position.
So smart.
We just got a way out. They think we're dead, and you want to stay.
The art of revolution.
Oh, good catch.
I have to make sure you're protected.
That's not it.
I have to keep them from coming for our home.
There's more to it.
I'm in. I stay and make sure Judith and our son are protected from that.
Oh, this is bullshit.
The lying to himself, you could hear it in the voice.
Well, he's drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit, too, you know.
The first man you and Nat killed, his name was Okafor, and he's who saved my life. He wanted me to become a part of the CRM, move up. I didn't have anything left, so I gave myself to his mission.
His mission.
Not yours.
I saw you standing there behind her, a soldier at attention for this army. And I thought, he's a prisoner here,
And this is a prison break.
and we have to break out.
Exactly.
You don't choose to stay in prison. When the doors open, you leave.
We've been crawling around in the dirt so long, Michonne, losing people we love. This felt like
Want something bigger.
to stop that, not to surrender to it, to fight.
He really believes it.
You have a family.
Okafor's gone. Thorne's one of them. Now I'm the only one left.
No, you're not.
He is and he isn't, though. I don't disagree with his sentiment.
I don't want to do this. I have to. So no.
You're lying. But you know what? Your wish is granted. I'm out. Back to my kids, who I left
Oh, shit.
to find you.
We handheld now.
Well, I found you, fought for you,
How scared he looks.
tried to reason with you. I pleaded with you.
Man, the escalation of this is so well written.
You're lying. You'll see it, and it'll be too late.
He's gonna let her walk out.
She's given him the chance to come and get her.
Make a choice, man. Man. You know, I've seen some people be like, have you forgotten that, like, Negan broke Rick at one point? He could come back. Like, this is a completely different thing. This guy's been, like, chiseled over years.
This is an 8-year.
Yeah, this is 8-year programming right now.
It's interesting. Almost kind of reminds me of the hospital in the first episode.
Follow your heart, man.
Come on, come on.
Follow your heart, yes. Oh, great. The CRM's showing up.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, zombies.
Oh yeah, that's the world we're living in. God, kudos to the show for achieving that level of drama without them.
Kudos to Danai Gurira. That's a really well written scene. Oh shit! They're gonna like launch it at this building. Well, now they'll for sure think they're dead.
I don't like that they still have the thing on them. All you got to do is press a button and they'll find you.
Is that what we're about to see?
And they don't have a knife, except for the one in his arm. Okay.
I love this show.
Dude, it's like top tier television.
That leads us further into dead mass. This way. Come on.
Dead mass. Oh, I love that.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Sure.
You?
I wonder if the only way they're going to be able to survive this is by calling for help.
We can't breach from this aisle, even if it's a defensible position.
I don't even have a weapon, Commando. Goddamn defensible position.
It's like a buddy cop movie.
Oh. Yeah, I hate getting scared. Hasn't happened in a while.
What lab work is going on down there?
I think this might have been the facility from the world beyond. Maybe.
They destroy any evidence that they exist. That's why they took out the helicopter. This whole building is buckling.
No, not the same thing.
When I conceived of Greenwood, it was so clear. Like-minded innovators in various fields seeking to live off the grid to create a new, more sustained and hopeful tomorrow.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that makes sense.
Progress and redemption through innovation is now like a sick joke to me.
They definitely got more Last of Us inspirations this time.
I am sorry. Let me be remembered as one who refused to leave the world the same way I found it.
Oh, awful way to go.
When folks try to save the world their own way, it tends to go to shit. Sound familiar?
You get picking up on what I'm saying, Rick?
You're living in a metaphor, buddy.
It's just like this place. I thought they knew it all without the killing of innocent people, except that part.
You can use that rebar as a weapon right there.
You still don't understand.
Signing up for lifelong duty to the enemy?
This is about ending the enemy.
This is not you, Rick.
This isn't me, how?
Boy.
This is what I need to do to keep you safe.
The only time I feel safe is when I'm with you.
You shouldn't have come. I was taken away. I didn't have a choice. You did.
Rick, I'm up.
I know. Yeah.
Thank you.
You don't know a goddamn thing anymore, do you?
Boy.
This is who you are now. Big guy, huh? Soldier of the CRM. You're moving up, right? That's the plan? Maybe I should be afraid of you.
Give this woman a nomination.
You keep lying to me? You think I'm not beating myself up for not being with my kids right now? That I'm not wondering how I will ever live with myself if, God forbid...
That's why you should go.
God, even he's getting on my nerves.
Okay, I don't know who you are, because the man I knew would never talk to me like that.
It's not the man you knew.
Best writer, best actress.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I love kind of like this symbolism of the fall. Everything is like cascading down on them to have the physical environment.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah. There you go.
I would just knock Rick out, drag him back.
But you gotta bring him
Put him
back
in
here
Negan's jail
first,
cell.
man.
Yeah.
You gotta bring him back in the mine first.
Ugh, they have to work together.
Hell yeah. I love that when it comes time to killing together, they still know how to do it.
Some things are just muscle memory.
I had this.
I had this.
Really?
Sorry.
Oh my God.
There are these like buddy cop elements to it that are.
Oh, they're the odd couple now.
Damn it, hug the wall.
I know that.
So much of the way they communicate to each other at the end of the day just feels like this sense of loss and a cry for help, like underneath everything they of how they convey. It's great.
Oh, shit. She can't get home now.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Fantastic.
Oh boy.
Just one at a time. Okay. Pile them on. Oh, jeez.
Aw, boy. That is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Creative.
Never happening.
Is that a dual meaning?
I wonder if almost losing her is the best way to come back.
Almost there.
Rick just starts stabbing and create a little pile.
To thank me ever.
Yeah, to your left.
On your left, Cap.
Hasn't started buckling yet.
Oh, good.
Are they right back to where they started?
Let's get it on.
No, she's got the ick.
It's a conflict, but they're drawn to each other.
Her face is conveying so many things right now.
If he can get her pregnant again, then send her back home.
Carl II.
It's a good thing they got this beautiful place to do it.
Yeah, right? Was he having like PTSD or was he bit?
I think it's a processing of emotions. He's had to push down his heart so much that to face the reality of that is more painful than anything else. And she's just saying, like, stay connected with me. Stay with me.
I might literally cry right now.
Like he was pulling away there, and she was just saying, stay connected with me.
This might be one of the most beautiful scenes I've ever seen.
He looks like me, so he's really good looking.
He has aged wonderfully.
Save the light brown skin. It's hard to tell it had anything to do with it. But he does have my eyes.
And he's stubborn,
Just like his daddy, yes.
like his mama.
He does have your good kind of heart, though. It's just a Roomba.
A what?
I just got one when it started. It cleans the floor on a timer. That explains why it's so spotless in here.
Still active, huh? All this time.
Yeah, the electricity. It must have solar power panels or something.
You noticed how thin they were. Walkers.
They may have starved.
Well, they kept this place going a good while.
They kept innovating, but no crops.
Well, even if they did have them, crops fail. One bad harvest, something has to burn to bring it back.
Metaphor.
If I could change the CRM, there's a chance for future generations, a real chance.
So he genuinely does believe
I don't think he's like wrong on principle about
it.
that.
No.
It's like his way.
You're lying to yourself.
This mark on your back,
It was the woman that I led into Alexandria. College buddy.
you knew her?
Oh, I remember that.
I was
Pregnant.
searching for you every day. Me and Daryl.
As Daryl mentioned.
I couldn't stop believing you were still out there and needing help. Everyone thought I was crazy. She encouraged me to keep looking. I was 7 months pregnant.
Ah,
She stole Judith and some other kids. She was sick, twisted. Did this to me and Daryl. We stopped her.
You killed her?
Yes.
Good.
I stopped looking for you. I had to take care of the baby, take care of Judith.
Daryl never stopped that.
But I kept believing that you are not gone forever. I still believe that. You did this to get away.
It was the only way. I was trying to come home.
You're still trying. I see it, even through the bullshit. You have the button. You could have hit it, Rick. You haven't.
Exactly. Actions speak louder than words.
You say you can't go home, but I don't think you can go back.
That is a different context. Yes.
I'm sorry for what they did to you.
I mean, the CRM operates like a cult, though. You know, like one of the
you
greatest
have to.
lie. One of the greatest lies you can tell yourself is something that sounds like the truth. You know.
Get out of here. We're running out of time.
No.
Not until.
We need to decide what's next right now.
Oh boy.
Nat used to say, you gotta know when to go. It's not time to go. Not until we know where we're going.
Damn, this Nat guy really left a strong hold here.
After I left here, why did you come after me?
You know why?
Say it. I need you to.
Admit it to yourself.
You're the love of my life. I couldn't just let you go. It felt like my heart ripped itself out of my chest and walked out the door.
Oh,
When this army attacked my friends, I got hit too. I nearly died. I was holed up in a mall trying to recover with Nat for a year.
It was a whole year.
I don't know how Judith is. I don't know if she's okay. She stopped answering the walkie. This hope that you have in the CRM, it's not real. We, your family, are real. I'm real.
Oh.
You're hurting me, and I know you. That is not how you love. I need you to try to tell me what is really going on here. What did they take from you?
It's like a romantic drama.
Carl. They took Carl.
They took Carl.
I lost him again. Just by trying to get away, but by how I would dream. I'd meet up with Carl in my dreams.
Oh.
And that's how I survived in here.
That's her most final episode.
Kept me alive. And then one day he was just gone. He just left.
Wow.
But then I started dreaming of you. And there you were. You and I fell in love in different ways. And it kept me going. But then you were gone too. And I couldn't see your face anymore. Just like I couldn't see Carl. I can't live without you. Without you, I die.
Aw.
And I figured out how to do that. I know how to be dead and live.
Walking Dead.
You can't just come back here, make me come alive again. And what if I lose you? And I can't figure out how to die all over again. I can't. I needed to get ahead of it, Michonne. I can't.
Jesus.
When I saw you, I got so scared. I needed to get ahead of it. I had to. At least if I think you will live on longer than me, without knowing if you do, I can just believe that it's true. Seeing that loss, I won't survive that, Michonne. I just won't.
Aw.
Oh, God. Oh, jeez.
If Carl were here right now, what would he say? What would he want you to do with this new chance to be with those you love? Despite all the odds, all the years, I found you, Rick.
Yeah.
I came here through the hell that we have both been through to take you home. You think that's all for nothing? For us to just go our separate ways? We go home, Rick, and we figure out how to protect it together.
A little hope in his eyes there.
We love on each other as hard as we can while we can.
How beautiful.
Oh, the music shift.
Easily the best episode so far.
System malfunction. Elevator has 10 minutes left of reserve power.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
Yeah, I got him.
He's not wearing the CRM clothes. Man, this episode's like a play.
I hope this is taught like Shakespeare one day.
She wrote this episode? Damn. It's like he...
Spend that much time with a character.
Yeah.
Elevator has 2 minutes left of reserve power.
Failure is never an option.
It's gonna hit the button. It's gonna hit the frickin' button.
Didn't
Or
they
it's
destroy it?
broken.
They destroyed it.
Oh, God.
Stick shift.
Oh, boy.
They made a stick shift electric car. Tanks of ethanol in the backseat.
The hybrid.
It's a hybrid.
They equipped us with enough to get home. Gotta thank her for that. Clearly they thought they could do anything.
Yep, we can. We can make this whole damn world ours if we want.
Aw.
That sounds like something I said.
It is.
Time to go.
Wow. Let them end off on a happy note. Hopeful note. Yeah, that was one of the best episodes of Walking Dead ever. citizens of the Reject Nation, or should I say Royal Rejects, because that is who we call those who check out our RR apparel at rejectnationshop.com. We come out with new designs every month or every 2 months. It is personally my favorite way you can support the channel. Reason being is because we are involved with every one of the exclusive RR designs that are up at the shop. We got a bunch of designs already, such as our Super Marvel Bro shirt. My sister actually designed this one. Deadpool Wolverine inspired, my personal favorite one. But then we also got our #1 bestseller, the Last Daddy t-shirt, which has Pedro Pascal from The Last of Us inspired, carrying baby Grogu. We have Loki's glorious balloon. We also have our Doctor Who shirt, which is full of a bunch of classic Doctor Who quotes on the TARDIS. We have Space Babies of the Galaxy. We got ourselves some Star Wars inspired shirts. We got a Boys inspired shirt, and we have a House of the Dragon one as well. Pointing those out because obviously we have new seasons of those shows coming up. And then of course you got a bunch of other designs as well, like our Batverse one, Who Influences the Influencers, another Last of Us inspired t-shirt, and of course, the classic Reject symbolism t-shirts as well. Either one is an amazing way to support the channel, and like I said, you get to look good while doing it. So thank you guys so much. Do consider going to rejectnationshop.com, and also tag us on social media. If you end up buying a shirt, please tag us. We'd love to see it when people do end up buying the shirts. Thank you, Royal Rejects. See you guys soon.
Yeah, that was one of the best episodes of Walking Dead ever that I've seen. I've never seen all the spinoffs and shit, but out of watching Walking Dead, this is like easily one of the best episodes I've ever seen.
I think it's the best episode. I think it beats the Morgan and Rick episodes. Wow. This is like a master class in television writing, in acting. Just, I don't usually like cry while watching TV, especially not The Walking Dead. First off, the fact that she wrote this is extraordinary, and I feel like there is there's like something to be said about somebody who has spent so many years with a character and taking all of those collective experiences and being able to put it into this thing, and like using the dream sequence in the way that they did without us realizing that was because in my mind, I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, what kind of torture did they subject him to? And at the end of the day, it's just that moment. It's that second death of after you lose a person, the last time you can see their face in your head, and just, oh man, I just like what beautiful, beautiful art this was, and to watch like love be able to cut through all of that and to get to this like raw moment, and it all just felt so earned and visceral and beautiful, and like I'm gonna get a little personal here if that's okay, but like one of the reasons I watched The Walking Dead is because my best friend, who I made a promise before he passed away I was going to keep watching the show. Meanwhile, it's been like a decade. And like, it was really hard not to think about him this entire episode, and that process of like that fear of letting go and that fear of losing again, and how hard it is to even put yourself in the position to love and to lose, and like just absolute art at its finest in the most unexpected and wonderful of places. What did you think, Greg?
Yeah, I thought it was one of the best episodes I've ever seen of it. And it's absolutely like the kind of sensibilities I'm most personally drawn to. Without saying too much, Michael, is actually made me go, oh, I need to change some stuff in something I wrote. Because I was like, there's a lot of similarities already. It's kind of funny to be like, oh, it's when I just finished writing this thing. And I'm like, oh, damn.
Now it's just gonna look like I'm ripped it off.
Well, that's a good sign, Greg.
But I like, oh shit. So it's just kind of, but I really feel like I appreciate everyone who like sticks around for these discussions. I've noticed like we kind of get a lot of comments that are more about the discussions and oftentimes the reaction itself, which makes me really happy because yeah, it is like the characters in and of themselves that I find to be the most absorbing element of it. And I thought this was a very touching, moving episode, and while this, and I think what this show has done brilliantly is play on the debate of, you know, where does Rick really stand and why, and you know, you might have seen Michael and I even kind of go back and forth, and I've always leaned more into the emotionality of it, and
You were right.
I
could say it. You were right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, to me, it did seem that okay, from the first couple episodes, that Rick is broken and he's lost sight of himself, and Michonne would be the one. Just from like storytelling, it seems like that would be the path it would go. But it's not about the destination. It is about the process. It is about how do we get there. And I feel like this episode really makes you earn it. Because I think the combination of the writing of this episode demonstrating the strength of really knowing these characters internally, even getting like a little bit more hints towards the backstory of Michonne, and when you chip away at what they're really talking about underneath it all, like you start off on the surface with the argument, but underneath that argument is the sense of loss, is a cry for help from both of them in their own regards. And a lot of times that's what communication really ends up coming down to, is something along those lines, right? It's either like loving or some type of cry for help. Usually it kind of comes into one of those forms. And that it's just about trying to get to the truth. And a lot of times like justification, anger is really a disguise for hurt, is a disguise for loss. And I think the way they demonstrated that with Rick has been so excellent and so rewarding as an audience member, because I'm here holding out hope, you know, that like, I think he's lying to himself. And a lot of times when you lie to yourself, you're able to use it with words. That's the thing about trauma and denial, is you can often find words that make your brain sound like that. Is that you find things that are logical, quote unquote, and they sound true, you know, and then it manipulates your brain. And he has been brainwashed, but I didn't even think about that extra layer that they were talking about, that he was lamenting at the end there with he's losing his. He's not just losing sight of himself, and it's not just the fear facing these emotions. He's losing memories, you know. And I think in grief, that is one of the things that we try to hold on to the most, because that's all we have to preserve sometimes we feel like that's the only thing that preserves our love. And I thought that was so profound and deep. And I love just how this show demonstrated at first with they're arguing, they're debating that they're having, but then they're kind of going through the grief process in this one episode, you know, together. Yeah, they're going through like stages of grief together, and you see how things come out of them through their actions as well. And I love the zigzagging, the roller coaster they go on. That, and then you know,
sometimes you have to get to the real thing.
Yeah, and even in the lovemaking scene that they had, I love how that was just visual. Yeah. Of even and then, because you know, in a situation like that in real life, that can be one of the most intimate experiences one could have, and especially if you're in the form of making a lot of eye contact, right, that close, and even there, he's like the emotion of him breaking. She's literally like trying to break down this wall that has been built around him.
Yeah, to just build that vulnerability. I think
it's very strong stuff.
You really, first off, I get why people listen to you, Greg. You're really good at talking. That was really...
Was it?
I could listen to your breakdown of this. I'm going to watch this afterwards.
If it's world building, that's you. If it's characters, I come in.
Yeah. When it comes to personalities, I am
no, you're great.
No.
I thought you were absolutely excellent. Man.
Well, I think...
I appreciate that, man. I thought you were exquisite at it, Michael.
I love you, Greg. I really appreciate this idea of presence, of how, especially in a show like this, or just in any medium, how like a character, even if they're out of the picture, can still inform so much. And I feel like that is, you know, every once in a while, like art actually does a beautiful job reflecting on reality. And I feel like so much of the world that we live in and so much of our experiences are driven by these shadows of people that we've lost, and not just lost to death, but lost to time and distance. And you know, it's hard not to, when consuming something like this, not like have some realizations of your own. You know, I mean, so much of what life is, they encapsulated in this. And I think to be able to take these characters who are so like badass and visceral, and just, you know, the fact that they could be in any one of these situations surrounded by the dead and they can just get through it, to see the thing that really, really breaks them to be this internalized experience, the hurt in her eyes as she had to admit to herself that her being down for that year was a year away from her kids, was just a level of pain. And just, it's such a testament to both of these actors and to her as a writer. But beyond that, it also just shows the power of like long form storytelling. Like, this can only pay off because we've been on this journey with them for so long. And I think that is just like one of the most beautiful things in the world, where a piece of IP like this can get stale and tired. And we've seen it do exactly that. And then to get back to the heart of it, like what made the original show so great was this intense personal drama. And, you know, talk about getting back to basics and realizing that like there is no Negan-esque character or any kind of big bad that will ever be as profoundly painful as a father mourning the loss of a child, or a mother being kept away from her children, or two people in love who know that they just can't reach the other person. And I'm like blown away. And I really hope the internet feels the same way, and that this gets some nominations, because it genuinely, I think, is like some of the best television I've seen.
I think
full stop.
I think sometimes Walking Dead obviously will tend more to its fan based than it will like reel someone in. But I think even if you're not a big Walking Dead fan, this is one that is very much accessible. And the backdrops that they use, like there's such great illustrations, I think, with using the crumbling of the building as the breaking down the walls, or literally within Rick itself, like to use that as an environmental
foundations.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It was smart, you know, and I loved even like the little things when they're having to survive together, when he's pulling toward, like, it's not just words and picking up on subtext. A lot of times they would do things via just through their actions. You know, when he runs out to her at the last second, or when they're fighting walkers off together in the hallways, and they're bickering with each other like two cops, or like he's saying go away, she's saying go away, and he refuses to go, and paying attention to the actions, not even thinking about how he hasn't pushed that button yet for a reason. So I think there's a phenomenal attention to detail here. With really great direction too, because this was like a big budget play. As this was
Exactly it.
It was a big budget play, and there are elements that I think that the writing team, because usually even though it says written by Danai Gurira, I'm going to assume like any other television show is like a main writer for that episode, and then everyone like kind of works together to do whatever they got to do to make it happen, right? So. But she's the main credited writer, so the credit to the writers, but also I think the directing, because we've seen with this particular spinoff, we're going through a lot of locations, but their strongest episode is just these two stuck together in this environment
I thought
of a crumbling building.
I thought it was genius. I thought it was genius for an audience standpoint to put them in what in essence is like a modern home.
Yeah.
It's almost easy to forget the backdrop of everything else.
Yeah.
And to just like remember like, oh, these are just two people who have just become so disconnected despite the fact there is still so much love that exists, and neither of them are in a place where they can authentically communicate. And, you know, I think it's beautiful because Rick is obviously, at first you're the one, it's easy to think he's the only one that has a problem in the situation, only to realize that Michonne is just as broken and has been through just as much. And her not being able to let go is her way of coping in the same way that Rick thinking he has to let go is his way of coping. And it just, God damn, it was so freaking good. I want to watch that 1,000 times.
And now for a tiny bit of theories of what's to happen, because we've still got 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
I really think it is great to let it end on a hopeful note.
Positive
I
note.
just think it's so. The other one thing, I've been crediting the show a lot for throwing you into Michonne's perspective for this journey, because the first episode is no Michonne, right? Other than the end. So you think you're watching this from Rick's perspective, but you're not. Most of this you're really experiencing being through Michonne's perspective, and I love how it captures it through that lens. Even here, as someone who's been every episode being like, nah, we don't. I know Rick's really underneath the ice broken now. Michonne's even I was like, man, you are getting on my fucking nerves right now because we all know who you really are underneath.
Yeah.
Come on. But so I thought that was so. I love a show that challenges its audience to have this guy who was our ultimate leader, the ultimate. Even when he was broken, you knew he would come back in. He would rise back up.
And I'm glad they waited.
They
glad.
literally let you earn your time back to getting a Rick you're more familiar with by the end of this episode. And I love a show that's willing to challenge its audience.
Yeah. Literally that moment when she like pushed him, the way that I reacted in the same exact way that she did, it just says they did such a perfect job at putting us in that POV, and having Michonne be our vessel to reconnect with this character was genius.
And I think as like action characters, you don't look at them as like action heroes, but they are in a lot of ways. To have them be so emotionally compelling is a rarity in the genre of characters who are this badass, but man, do they bring the emotional weight and with multiple nuanced moments of like the best kind of crying to me is when you're fighting the tears, you know, and a scene work, you know what I mean? Because Danai Gurira, I think they're both excellent here. But it seems like Jadis is probably going to suspect something. He's not really dead, you know.
Well,
I think Jadis will be hunting them.
I think that the universe that they have set into motion, which is becoming a lot clearer to me, I love what it's building towards, and I'm hoping that because of the air that they've given each of these respective characters to go on these individual journeys, that when they inevitably have to come back and confront the CRM, it is going to be a brilliant, somehow, despite the fact it's this big, no longer it's an individual, it's an institution that they're fighting against. And all of these characters who will have gone through this evolution finally being brought back together after all these years is going to be something extraordinary. For me, I think where this all needs to end logically is Alexandria and the folks back home need to be put into a
level
intense, precarious situation.
I am 7 episodes away from finally finishing the original series.
You're so close.
I'm so close.
Well,
and my goal is like, if I can have it, like I finish it and then I finish this at the same time.
And I'm so sorry for any spoiler. So you've.
Do I want to hear this?
No, I think you're fine.
I know we're at Commonwealth.
Commonwealth.
Right? We're
Cool.
at Commonwealth.
That's literally all I was going to ask about.
Yeah.
And you've met like Mercer.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So like, it's very clear to me there is a formidable opportunity
Okay, yeah.
For, you know what I mean? Like there's a bigger world situation going on where I think a lot of our characters can all.
I literally
Rick is going to form the Avengers.
I literally just got to the time when Negan got back in that building where he's camped out with all those. That was the last episode I saw.
Yeah,
so
perfect. That's a good. I'm not going to spoil anything, but all I'm going to say is we're ripe for a. I'm curious how they're going to do it though. Like obviously, the Daryl show is getting a second season.
I'm so worried that this show is going to tie back to the end of the Walking Dead. So I'm like, I need to finish Walking Dead so that way.
I mean, part of me is wondering, are we going to see Judith and RJ?
Right.
I kind of don't want to yet.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think the original plan for the Rick stuff was like a trilogy. I think it was like a trilogy of movies. So maybe they want to do 3 seasons.
Well, I think that this particular show, if they want to keep calling it what they're calling it, they can. But ultimately, it strikes me as all of these different shows are going to then tie in together for a reunited Walking Dead series.
That'd be cool. With just our main ones.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
I think a lot of fans are itching. Even I'm not finished Walking Dead, but I'm even like, man, how fascinating it would be to see like Rick and Negan reunite.
Well, that's Rick and Negan. Even God, you have to watch the Daryl series.
You see, that's the part that I'm concerned about with this experience. This show has been so damn good.
Yeah.
And I love original Walking Dead. I do.
And the internet, like, feel free to like totally disagree with me. I thought the Daryl series was so well done. I think it was like a level of like nuance, the way the writing elevated. I thought the show that didn't do that was
Dead City.
Dead City just really.
See, I'm probably never going to get around to Fear the Walking Dead, but I want to get Dead City in, and I want to get Daryl Dixon in, and then I know the Carol show's coming out.
No comment, but no comment.
I saw the AMC Plus ruined it with the trailers.
I have zero comments about that, but all I will say is they're setting cool things up. I really want to see Rick and Morgan together again,
which I know is a big part of Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that combo of characters, particularly, I think about, every time we meet them, it's been a couple of years since they've like really engaged with each other. And I feel like both of them always go on these tumultuous journeys and have such an interesting perspective to share.
Yeah.
Part of me hopes that that's how the series, all of it ends. Yeah. Although, frankly, it's becoming hard to imagine because it seems like the shows are performing really well. I've got a feeling they're going to try to keep this going for a long time. Which is
just when you thought they might kill off the
just
Walking
when
Dead.
You thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
They revitalize.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love staying in it, man.
Yeah.
I do love staying in the. It is a world that you get to stay in, and even for some episodes, as I say, a lot of people have been like, "Yeah, season 11, whatever." I'm like, I don't know. I really like it still.
Even on the episodes I hate, I have fun.
Yeah.
I think what was wonderful about this is we saw the potential of what it can be. And I think that's always been the thing that not stressed me out, but disappointed me about The Walking Dead is that it has all the right ingredients. And I honestly think all the right talent. Like when you get to the heart of like how talented the cast, like the original cast and the leads that you've had throughout the years, these are like some of the best actors of our time who are in this world.
Right.
They just need to be given the material and frankly, I think the trying to step it up with the AMC Plus and creating a more premium feel was like really, really essential, and giving all of these characters the individual platform to breathe and develop. But listen, if you're on the Walking Dead staff in the writer's room, directing, hell, if you were on set, just like doing production, thank you.
The Walking Dead social media follows me.
Do they?
And I was like, no, whoa, that's crazy.
Like we should seriously thank you. This was really magic. And I think at a time when our industry, the television world, is in all sorts of ups and downs, I think this is proof that like good storytelling is possible, even an IP that's been around for over a decade. And what did y'all think though? Like what are your opinions? Where do you think this is going? What was your favorite part? Did you cry? I mean, I'm so glad that I had like a tear. It was like
Congratulations.
It was like, man, I needed to get that. I didn't know how much I was holding on to.
I think some people might, because I'm a very comfortable crier, and I did not cry, but I was wowed the whole time. And I hope that what I expressed shows that.
I think you and I were both like our body language was like
I was just in this massive admiration of what it's doing. I'm like, oh, this is exceptionally impressive what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys.
All right.
Well, thank you. And if you're at WonderCon, come say hi to our panel.
Yes, please do. I'll cry there too.
All right. See you guys. Adelia Chamberlain. Adelia, my friend, I am sorry. So much, so sorry. I got your Twitter message late that you were actually in California, and it was just a few days before we had our Dune 2 event. I really wanted you to come to our Dune 2 event.
Dune-lia.
So, you know what? It's spring break time, and you know what that means. It's the season of sand. That is what everyone calls this season as. And John and I are going to ride a sandworm right to your house. Now, admittedly, it's probably going to be a very, very nice gesture. It's an act of love, really. But I think your family, they're going to end up getting so upset with us because once we show up, we're going to be destroying your town by accident. We are not going to intend it, but it's the natural consequences. You don't want it
destroyed by a sandworm.
Natural consequences. When you have a sandworm, you just start demolishing everything out and you're bulldozing your way through. And then, we don't destroy your house, but it does get drenched in sand, putting your house beneath the surface ultimately.
Useless house.
But what really matters is not the consequences. It is the action of our love that we have for you. So, Adelia, we got to make this up to you somehow, and it is going to be drenching your house in a bunch of spice. Reject out.